American farmers are facing a harsh reality. Once the undisputed king of the global wheat market, the United States is witnessing a slow and silent erosion of trust in its most iconic export. This isn't a temporary slump, it's a fundamental shift that threatens to devastate America's heartland and potentially impact other crucial exports. Are we on the verge of losing another generation of farmers? Let's delve into the details of this quiet crisis. For decades, American wheat was synonymous with quality and reliability. From Manila to Marseille, buyers lined up confident in the consistency and dependability of United States grain. But that promise has been broken. Countries that once relied on American wheat are now turning elsewhere, not with protests or speeches, but with purchase orders signed in Canada, Australia, and other nations. The Philippines, a long-time loyal customer consuming around 3 million tons of United States wheat annually, was the first to signal a change. In May 2025, a major milling firm canceled 12,000 tons of United States wheat outright. Within days, a new contract was signed for 110,000 tons from Canada and Australia. While United States wheat was cheaper, internal reports revealed that it was now viewed as high-risk, unpredictable, and vulnerable to political disruption. The extra costs, delays, and insurance premiums made it less attractive. In France, where bread is a cornerstone of the culture, import levels of United States wheat plummeted to a 20-year low in 2025. Milling companies began sourcing from Canada and even domestic suppliers, despite a challenging growing season. The reason? American wheat was no longer meeting new European standards. Shipments were delayed, carbon scores were too high, and chemical residue thresholds were exceeded. The risk of shipments being stranded due to policy changes was simply too great. So, South Korea, which is actually a pretty major consumer of American wheat for things like instant noodles and packaged breads, saw its market share drop dramatically from over 35% to below 17% between late 2024 and mid-2025. Meanwhile, Canada's share just shot up to over 60%. The main reason? Chemical compliance. South Korea tightened up its standards for glyphosate residue, and while U.S. wheat regularly tested above those recommended levels. But Canadian and Australian wheat? It came in clean, already pre-certified, and fully digitally traceable. Even Mexico, which is, a close neighbor and trading partner, saw imports of American wheat fall by nearly 40% by mid-2025. Imports from Canada, on the other hand, rose by over 35%. Mexico just got tired of all the last-minute rule changes, things like tariffs and export documents. Canadian wheat, by comparison, offered predictable paperwork, always arrived on time, and no surprises. Italy, the home of pasta, gradually scaled back its contracts for U.S. Durum wheat. By 2025, Canada held 45% of Italy's wheat import share, while the U.S. was down to just 15%. Canada really adapted by building research labs, developing new Durum varieties with perfect elasticity, and integrating inspection with real-time logistics. They put a lot of focus on consistency and meeting specific customer needs. The common thread across these shifts is not price, but trust. Canada is not necessarily cheaper, but it is more predictable. In a world defined by risk, predictability is everything. The cancellations, unrenewed contracts, and empty silos are symptoms of a deeper issue, a loss of confidence in the reliability of American wheat. The United States can rebuild its wheat trade empire, but only if it changes. It needs to focus not just on price, but on consistency, communication, and stability. The world wants not just the best wheat, but the most reliable partner. What is happening to American wheat today is not just about grain. It is about every export that depends on global trust. And trust, once broken, is not easily restored. What do you think? Can the United States regain its position as a reliable global supplier? Share your thoughts in the comments below.